Happy Tuesday. This is Edna White. I am so glad you're with me today. Today, we're going to talk about limiting beliefs and how to overcome them. I know we talk about them all the time. I know I do, and new ones seem to be popping up everywhere. Just as you grow, you seem to find out there's new limiting beliefs within yourself. I'm not talking about anybody else, I'm just talking about yourself. So, what we're going to talk about today is really about overcoming them. Yeah, So, we're going to talk about how you get stuck and how you stay there, and you know, um, you just you don't move, right? So it's like you get to a point in what you're doing. Let's say if you're in a relationship or a job, or yeah, let's say job, and you don't really like where you are, right? And then someone comes to you, there's this great opportunity for you to do blah blah blah. And they might just throw in the jab, yeah, but you need a bachelor's degree, but you don't have one. So you say to yourself, oh, I'd be really good at that because I've been doing that freestyle and I know how to work on this because I work with so and so, and you have all the criteria for it. But because of something someone said that triggered something in your mind that you were not good enough because you didn't have a bachelor's degree, it stopped you from applying to that job. Now, maybe you would have applied and you didn't get it, but just that trigger and that limiting belief that I'm not good enough because I don't have a bachelor's degree, but you have all the experience, but it still stopped you. Limiting beliefs are fake, false, they're made up, and they prevent you from pursuing your goals and your desires. It can stop you from important things like applying for that dream job or finding that relationship you want or leaving the one you don't want. All of it. It can also stop you from doing those unimportant things like skydiving or canoeing or riding a horse or just trying something weird like, I don't know what the ice cream is, but it's like raisins in it and all of that. Or just trying that, right? Could be anything. But you're not doing it. You're limiting yourself because of the experience, because something in the back of your mind says you're not good enough and you can't do that. Those two things, you're not good enough and you can't do that, right? Been told to you for years, you've heard it for years. Our beliefs put boundaries and limitations on us because we perceive it as to be reasonable, like makes us behave reasonably by saying, hey, I'm not taking a plane because it's going to crash. The likelihood of that, you're in a car, you have an accident sooner than you would crashing in an airplane. But that's the unreasonable behavior that you reason with. Your belief system may also say to you, here's a great one. I don't believe in stealing, right? And that's a limit that you won't do. But yet, excuse me, you play Grand Theft Auto. It's probably a good one to have, but we also play and do stupid things with them, right? It's a good one to have, but we do stupid things. Yesterday, I was talking to someone, and we're discussing politics and where we belonged in different parties and things. And I was saying to them that I'm starting to do things with people and be around people that align with where I'm going or what I feel. So I'm not even going to play a game if it's stealing. I'm not going to do it. Right. When I remember when those things, the CDs came out and Medea had the CDs, right? Medea had, she had plays and everything. And I remember seeing church people, I'm not kidding you, buying bootleg. And I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. They were like, what? I was like, isn't it stolen? Yeah, but I'm paying for it. I was like, I don't know. And what was so funny is that if you went to go to the play, it was just as much as the CD, which was funny. But I digress. Some of limiting beliefs is unnecessary hold us back to who we want to become. Like being stuck in that area, just being stuck and not addressing anything. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to present limiting beliefs like a ice cream, like that raisin ice cream. People might like raisin ice cream, but I think it's gross with the raisins in the ice cream. Okay, so I'm going to present it as flavors, right? Number one, limiting beliefs about yourself that make you feel like you can't do something because something is inherently wrong with you, right? What would that be? What's wrong with? Well, one belief is every relationship I messed up. So I don't think I deserve another one. Every marriage I messed up. So I don't think I deserve another one. Right? I had to get like what's that, Elizabeth Taylor, man. What does that even matter? And it makes sense, right? Doesn't matter. We limit ourselves because we have these beliefs about ourselves. We limit ourselves. We stay stuck because we have these beliefs about how we're going to get somebody, where we're going to get them, what they look like, if I should do it again, can't do it again because this is what this one says, that one says, whole bunch of junk. 2, limiting beliefs about the world that makes you feel like you can't do something because no one will let you. Like the first scenario I gave you with the degree. You needed the degree to go to this job. When you don't really need a degree, you need to show your experience, show what you can do, right? But we have this belief if somebody puts the BA there, that's law. No, not necessarily. It's not. Somebody just type that up. But if you can show them you can do that job, why not? Right? 3, limiting beliefs are about life that makes you feel like you can't do something because it's too difficult. Years and years, I believed that because I struggled with math, I didn't know math until I got into real estate and figured it all out. And I was like, I did math. Not knowing and not using the words like algebra and dynamics and, all those other pieces. It was just practical words. And I was able to do it. But I had limited myself before that, not taking any math classes because I believed I was going to struggle. Limiting beliefs. So what are some common, we know these are common about ourselves, but what are some common ones, like limiting beliefs about ourselves? Number one is age, right? We always use age around going back to school, changing careers, dating again, and even learning some new skill. I can't do it. Many people say to me about computers, I can't, I'm not computer savvy. I was like, well, that's your priority. I said, but you waste time sitting over here eating chips, or you waste time watching television where you can learn how to do a new skill. When you put it in that perspective, it looks different, right? I don't know how to work my phone. Well, when you're watching television all day, couldn't you spend like an hour or two trying how to work it? Yeah, probably could. Again, the way the limiting belief is, you know, personal traits. Sometimes we think that our personal traits is holding us back in some area of our lives. Maybe we think we're too dumb to apply for a scholarship or a certain school or a job or even a conversation about with somebody smart. I used to think that. Couldn't have a conversation with them because I don't have a PhD. Boy, was I confused and was I wrong? Maybe you think you're too ugly to talk to anyone who's even remotely attractive. Yeah, that's probably not always the truth because even beautiful people, if they're ugly on the inside and the ugly attitude, seem to be ugly to a lot of people. So throwing around the word ugly, meh, probably not. Well, if you don't comb your hair, that has nothing to do with being ugly. It doesn't. Just means you need to get some, self care going on there, buddy. Or maybe you think that because your right leg is slightly shorter than the other, and you never look good in a pair of shorts, all that crap. Maybe you don't. Maybe you say all those things, or you're sweating all the time that nobody's gonna like you, and maybe you shouldn't enjoy summer. Don't go out in the summertime. So it limits you from doing those things. Personal traits, taking it all in. Feelings. Oh my Lord. Our emotions limit our beliefs. I can't meet new people because I'm too depressed and no one will like me. If you say something like the two negatives in a sentence mean that you're making it up and it's all feeling related. I can't go back to work because I'm too embarrassed. Oops, excuse me. I can't have a good relationship because I'm too angry all the time. You can't have one, or you won't have one because you don't want to give up being angry and you don't want to give up being a victim. Which one is it? That's what limiting beliefs, living in your emotions and avoiding your emotions, do to you. If you're depressed and sad, getting out and socializing will probably help that depression. Who knew? If you're easily embarrassed, facing the judgment of others is always a way to get over embarrassment. You're judging yourself. They didn't even get a chance yet. If you're so angry at someone, you don't want to talk to them, chances are you're talking to them will help get over the anger. But most of the time, when you're angry at somebody, it's because you didn't say what you wanted to say. You didn't communicate effectively. Maybe you need to work on your communication skills. Limiting beliefs around the world. And that's really merely about ourselves. We adopt erroneous beliefs like, oh, we can't go here because of that. Yes, there are places that we can't go because of situations that are beyond our control, but we limit ourselves because we make these things up about the world so that we can stay safe. When I went to China, everybody told me not to go to China. Oh, they were communists. They don't believe in God and da da da. We're talking all this stuff. Well, I avoided it all and I went, and it was the best experience I ever had in my entire life. And it was nothing like anybody said. And I asked all the questions. Believe me, you know me. I asked the questions. Another one is disapproval. We do not do things and we limit ourselves because we don't want disapproval from people, and it won't allow us to do it. Our limiting belief will. So what do I mean by that? I can't talk to them because people will think I'm weird. I can't quit grad school because mom and dad will be disappointed. I can't leave my cushy job to take a lower paying job that I'd enjoy more because people won't respect me. I can't leave my garbage marriage because I'd be damaged goods and no one ever want me to be with me again. Guys, you need to buy this book. And I tell you, I wish I had it over here, but it's not over here with me. The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I wish you guys would buy that because we spend our lives on this part right here. And I think that's why I wrote my book, No Period. We're in such people pleasing modality that we just keep the method and the madness just keeps happening, even in religiosity, even in schools, the method just keeps going. In our homes, we keep generational trauma, we keep generational junk, garbage just going, and we keep repeating it. And then we wonder why our kids give us issues because we keep repeating it. The I can'ts and living in our emotions will get us in trouble all the time. Here's another one that's real, that's probably the root of a lot of things that go on in society: prejudice, discrimination. People are racist and sexist, and all sorts of phobias. Phobias, phobics. But it's important to know and understand these realities. They're here, they're there. Yes, you have to be careful. Yes, you have to be aware. You can't prevent them because you can't control what other people think and say. But don't let it prevent you from living your best life. Oh, like I'm Asian and women don't like Asian men, so I'll never get a girlfriend. I've heard one of my students say that. I'm short. I say that too, but I don't say it all the time. And short people make less money than tall people are. So I don't try to do anything different. And I don't even try to get a promotion. Right? That's fake prejudice. I'm a woman and people don't listen to women's ideas. So I just keep quiet and I do the work that they tell me to do. Yeah. One way to think about these issues is that while they may be true population wide, or they're not true from one individual to the next, they they're just made up. And yes, they may have some, isms against women, isms against that one, isms. They may have all that, but don't let it ruin your life, right? Don't let it overcome you. Don't let their prejudices or the society's prejudices influence you. Why not be an individual, right? Being special. Limiting beliefs casts a particular negative way in this situation. You know, you may be different, and I call it unique, and special is great because you don't see the world like, as a survivor of sexual trauma. I don't see people the way you see people. It's always I have to strategically or critically think, they're not out to hurt me all the time. I have to think like that because first steps are, oh, guarded, they're gonna, they're being nasty or mean to me, or and I have to think and say, no, 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 stop thinking like that. Let whatever happens play out, And yeah, I'm very, clear on my boundaries, and yeah, I'm going to be very wise and be careful, of course, but I have to think like that. Like, for instance, I want to make music, but no one appreciates my eclectic influences. Or I want to get a job, nobody, you know, appreciates my eclectic wear. I want to write a comedy, but no one will understand my sophisticated humor. I have a business idea, but nobody understands my vision. Been special. This is just a perverse form of entitlement. We think the world owes us because we're so special. or something special happened to us, or something different happened to us. We're so special and we're entitled, and we will never get what we're owed. That sounds like we will never get what we're owed because I love to wear my clothes like this. I'm this way and no one likes me. So I act entitled. But the world don't owe you sugar, honey, iced tea. And really, it's more likely that the entire world doesn't understand how unique you are. But they do if you give it just a little chance. And you know what? Stop smelling yourself. And then you won't think you're so entitled or so self-important, you know? Limiting beliefs about life. You know how sometimes you didn't have a normal life, or you had a normal life, but it didn't give you an opportunity to experience everything. Or you had an idea and the idea came, oh man, and somebody already did that. And you don't even move forward and do it. You don't even put the idea together and do it. So you just give up from the beginning. You missed the boat. Right? Like somebody's already built that. Somebody's already done that. You know, they're making money off of it, so I don't need to do it, you know. Or you want to start a business and you don't know how to start it. Or eh, no one came to help me. Or you're an inspiring novelist and the idea already came through somebody else. Why can't you write it in your way? When I was writing books, I was always seeing, you know, how you look for the title, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't seem to find the right title. And I used to scour multiple books, right? Multiple, and they would have the name that I was thinking. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it and let it go. Let it roll with it. And that's what I did. Whatever name came that I was good for this project, which always the name comes first and then the project comes second. Don't know why. But it would always work out. I I stopped worrying about it was already taken. You know, or in the dating world after those 40s, people are like, oh, there's not that many young men and young women out there, or people my age out there. That's a baloney. Is that you're either too lazy to look for them, or you think you're entitled that they should be coming to you? Which that means, both means that you need to do a whole lot of work on your insides. It's crap. The world is a big place. Long Island is not the where all be all. Connecticut's not the where all be all. Ohio's not the where all be all. This world is big. Go out and explore it. Meet new people. There's plenty of room for you. And there's plenty of everybody for you. Just got to dive in. And here's another one. Time. It's probably the most common excuse I see from people, especially those who are considered major style changes, like changing their diet, exercising more, reading more books, or they always have the complaint, or even when they know they need a change in their lives, but they don't want to invest in themselves, or they don't want to go on vacation, or they don't want to go on a retreat, or they don't want to invest and pay for a coach to get them from point A to point Z because they know it's worth it. But what do they say? I'm too busy. Or great one, when they want to write a book, I'm too busy. I don't have the time. At the same time as everyone else. Just because you're a firefighter, just because you're a coach, just because you're a teacher, just because you're a professor, just because you're a nurse or a doctor, does not exude or leave you out of exclude you from time. Everybody's got the same 24 hours. It's what priority you put on it. But you know what they say. If somebody likes you, they'll find a way to spend time with you, right? Same thing. If you really want something, you'll know how to make time for it. So when somebody says, I don't have the time, is what I hear is, I don't care enough. But I just want you to hear it anyway. I want you to give it to you. I do have that idea. Make my ego feel better. So clearly you need to reorganize your schedule. And more often than not, what we're really prioritizing when we can't find the time is that we're being comfortable and safe. Because if we go to write that book, if we go to get that degree, if we go to go on that vacation, if we go on that retreat, if we pay that coach, that's not safe for us. We don't know what the outcome's going to be. We fall into safe routines, hide behind safe outward identities we've created, and spend our time on safe little distractions that won't rock the boat, like TV, our phones, and take up a whole lot of our time. It doesn't exist. The limiting belief that says it actually does not exist, or that it does exist, depending on what mind frame you're with. Sometimes we choose to believe things that are impossible as ways to prevent ourselves from trying and failing to achieve them. Love between two people? Oh no. That's fleeting at best and made up at worst. So why even look for it? Love? And guess what you'll be? Alone a lot of times because you agreed. You limited yourself. You agreed to that. Success is just fabricated and ideal. It's created by society to control us. So why do anything? Just like it's time to vote, voting is fabricated, right? Society gives it to us to control us, and we're not going to be able to do anything. So why do anything? You better vote, by the way. Humans are selfish and they will always mess you up. So why get close to someone? See all those limiting, it doesn't really exist. Those limiting beliefs that you trick yourself with the BS that you make up. See, we think we're geniuses, head and shoulders above everyone else, but we believe stupid stuff. So how do we overcome your limiting beliefs? Now, it's going to take some time because you've tricked yourself for many years and many moons into this position. But here's how to start to question everything and every thought that you have. Forget about everybody else. Ask yourself, what if I'm wrong? Consider that it might not be true. Like, I can't date because of my height. What if I'm wrong? I can't get a promotion because I'm a woman. What if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? Do these mental exercises. Question yourself and find the alternative possibilities. Challenge yourself to imagine a world where your assumption is incorrect. And then think, what would it look like? Write it down. Oh, by the way, you'll be getting, if you comment below, you can get actually this worksheet with some of these questions about limiting beliefs for free from me. All you got to do is say, hey, I'm interested. Go back to the number 2. Ask yourself, how is this belief serving me? several years ago, I was given a belief that in the Bible it says something was itching me. It says something about God didn't approve of, you know, what is it, homosexuality. So of course, you know me, I'm asking questions. I said, where does it say that? So they showed me something that they read into, and I was like, well, what does it say that? They was like, can't you see it right here? And I said, mm-mm. I see something totally different that you probably assumed, and then you put it in there and made it true. But where does it say it? Like, where is it written? Like, where is it written? Like, I would say, just like a ticket. You get a ticket, right? Where's it written? If it's a law, it's written in law. Where's that say that? And it doesn't say that. You're reading into something. But here's what I said to that person. How is that belief serving God, who is love? Because that's what it was. It was a belief. It wasn't something that was written in. It's not written there. It was a belief. And when you give somebody else that belief, then they limit themselves, and then they struggle with loving and caring and understanding other human beings. But when you get into this area of your life, no matter if it's religiously, in your workplace, in your home life, in relationships, wherever it is, ask yourself, challenge yourself to ask yourself, how is this belief serving me? Is it making me struggle and strain? And if it is, you should let it go, because struggle and strain only hurts you. Usually, when it's something that's good for you, you don't have to struggle with it. But when it's a limiting belief, you struggle with it all the time. And you always got to put on a hat or a mask and act this way and act that way, because you don't know how to act. You don't know how to be. Beliefs only stick if they were served to us in some way, like to figure out something. But then once you figure it out, is it worth it or not to keep it around? That's like having those old strainers with the metal ones now, or even a frying pan. That's even a frying pan you've had for years, and all the Teflon's worn off of it, and everything you cook in there, everything sticks. You can't cook with it, nothing. So does that serve you anymore? Probably not. You're probably chuck it in the garbage, which I just did that the other day. But you have to throw it in the garbage, right? So that's what you have to do with these limiting beliefs that keep you stuck and struggling. 3, create alternative beliefs. Now it's time to get creative, right? Because when I started this journey of changing my belief system, I had stickers. I told the story a million times. I had those yellow stickers. That's when they first came out. They were everywhere. Every time I thought of something bad, I was able to look up and see something that related to it and repeat it. And I did this for like 2 years. And I was able to get rid of those things that no longer served me. I had to be very creative. Even in the bathroom, I was sticking in the refrigerators. The kids were like really getting involved. I was in the freezer putting things in there, reminding myself, the only thing that's stopping you is your own mind, nothing else. It's not nobody else. It's you. Okay? So it's just a matter of changing that belief to make it. Once you challenge it, now I want to make it so that I can switch it off. So every switch, right? has an on and off. So the bad is the on, and you want to cut it off. So you have to have something creative, like an affirmation, like a mantra, like, an intent to change that alternative way of thinking. It forces you to get rid of those limiting beliefs so that you don't harbor them, so you don't choose to believe them in every moment of the day. If you keep practicing it, they literally will dissipate and you'll have a new brainwave pattern before you know it. 4, test those alternative beliefs to see if they might be true. So if those alternative beliefs or hypotheses, do an experiment. It's like trying on new jeans. Add a new ingredient into a recipe. Taking the car on a test drive. Entering your favorite cheese contest. Why did I say cheese? Maybe I was thinking about macaroni and cheese. Until we're really willing to actually see if there was alternative beliefs, those things will keep playing in our minds. And you will find yourself truly figuring out they were actually wrong. It's simply becoming self-aware and consider things that may have been wrong and have the courage to go out in the world and change it for yourself and know and see and say that it's wrong, right? In many ways, we can be our own worst enemies. We are confined by our own perceptions, our own constraints, our own understandings, true or false. But if we challenge them and our own understanding, I promise you, you'll see great results. Test your new ideas, especially if they're positive. You will never at any point fully expand if you don't let go of things that no longer serve you. There's always room to grow, which that's where I got my book from. I wrote a book called Room to Go because of a plan. There's always room to grow. Just make sure you aren't the only one stopping it from happening. Make sure it's just not you. Make sure you're not the one doing it, right? Get it together and make sure you're moving. Make sure that you're the one that's not stopping good things from happening for you. I hope I said something today that really helped you. This is Edna White. Bye for now. Oh, leave your comments down below. And please make sure, if you have something to say to me, or you have a question, and if you want this limiting belief sheet, just say so below. Talk to you later. Bye for now.